What's up, everybody? This is going to be a quick tutorial for the Square Machine boss, Cossack 2 in Mega Man 4. Just going to go over a couple of the patterns and a couple of the things that you might have questions on with regards to the movement with this boss fight. In particular, I'm going to show 3 different fights. I'm going to show my fight for Square Machine when he gives me a 1-pass or a 3-pass pattern. And I'm going to show the fight if he does a 2-pass pattern, and also I'm going to show a damageless version of the previous 2 that I mentioned. The damage boost strat is easier, but in some ways people are not necessarily going to be comfortable with it because it's going to leave you with an amount of HP that is very low, and you could die to it if you don't manipulate the 3rd shot correctly. So I'll show a damageless version of it as well, just so that people have an idea of what's going on in this fight. Okay, so like I said, Square Machine has 3 different patterns in a sense. He can either form on the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd pass. You can tell if you've gotten a good pattern, whether if Square Machine comes into the screen very slowly, that's a good pattern. Whereas if he comes into the screen very fast, you know you've gotten a bad pattern, and he's going to do 3 passes. So basically, in this video that I'm going to show here, I get a bad pattern. He's going to do 3 passes. He's going to fly by, then he's going to do immediate speed 1, and then he'll come through the screen slowly and form. Something that might not be very critical in your early attempts, but sliding in this fight is actually very bad. You'll actually cause lag if you slide in this fight, so it's something you don't really want to do. So you notice that when I was dodging those patterns, I jumped through Square Machine instead of sliding under him. I still sometimes will slide under him if I feel like I'm rushed on the fast pattern, because you don't get very much lag on the fast pattern when you slide, but generally speaking, you don't really want to do that. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do here is, whenever you get a 1-pass or a 3-pass on the first cycle, the left platform is always the one you're going to be jumping on. If you get the 2-pass pattern, you're going to be jumping on the right, and you'll see that in the next example fight that I'll show you. So here what I'm going to do is exactly like the Cossack 1 fight, if you saw the tutorial video of that. It's all about manipulating the bullets. Square Machine is going to do 3 bullets before he continues his next cycle. And the moment he forms here is when he's going to fire his bullet. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to time my jump so that I'm going to land on this green platform the moment that Square Machine forms and comes together, these 2 walls. And then as soon as I touch that, when that forms, I'm basically timing my jump so that I land there when it forms, and then I'm going to do another jump straight up to shoot him to get my first hit in. This is going to manipulate the first shot down towards the platform because the game registers me down there. And so I'm going to dodge him and hit him at the same time. So you see, I was down here when he formed, so the bullet's going below me, and I'm jumping up to get my first hit in. Now, for these first 2 fights that I'm going to show you this is the damage boosting way. You require, to do this strat, you require at least 7 HP, because jumping into Square Machine's orb, where his hitbox is, does 6 damage to you, so you have to have more than 6 HP to do this strat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to land and jump up a 2nd time, and I'm going to actually jump into him on purpose. Doing this now puts me in invincibility frames, and he's going to shoot a 2nd bullet at me, and it's going to go right through me, and I don't have to worry about dodging it. I can just jump up and do my 3rd hit and let the bullet go through me because of my invincibility frames. And then for this next shot, I'm going to, as soon as that one leaves the screen, I need to be sort of up here at the top left of Square Machine to manipulate this next bullet to fly over top of me. So I'm going to shoot him and then sort of push left towards the corner and make that other bullet fly over top of me. And then I'll land again and jump and get my 5th hit in like I did. You'll see it again in the next version of the fight again as well. Now that I've done 5 hits, the remainder of this fight is super easy. Again, manipulate the shot downward and jump up and hit my 2 hits in before he can do anything. So now this is going to be the exact same fight, but I'm going to show you the 2-pass pattern Instead of doing this now from the left, I'm going to be doing it from the right platform because I have to jump on the one that's lowest, and if he gives me this pattern, the one on the right is going to be the one that's lower. So same deal, no sliding. Jump up, jump onto this platform, manipulate the bullet down, just like I did before. Jump up, get my second hit in, and damage boost, just like I did on the last cycle, or the last one that I showed you. The bullet will go through me because I have iframes, so I get my third hit in. Jump up for my fourth hit, and then I push to the right again to manipulate that bullet to go over top of me. And then jump up and get my fifth hit in before the bullet leaves the screen and he goes on to his next pattern. And again, just like the last time, manipulate the bullet, jump up, and he's dead. So that's kind of a riskier strat because you do have to have the ability to manipulate the bullet to go over top of you. Now I'm going to show you a damageless version of this fight. So it's going to look very similar, but I need to dodge the second bullet instead of damage boosting into him and using iframes. So it's a little trickier, the timing's a little tighter, but then you don't have to worry about getting one-shotted. So as you can see, I still jump up and dodge the first bullet the same, still get my second shot in the same, but now instead of jumping into him, I'm going to sort of jump off to the side again, similar to how I did the third bullet dodge, and I'm going to jump off the platform. And then let that bullet shoot and miss me by jumping and going around to the platform again. Getting the third hit in, and I'm going to jump over the third bullet this time instead of the manipulating it up to the corner, and get my fourth hit in at the same time. And then I got to squeeze my fifth hit in really quickly. So the timing for the 5 hit on the damage list is a little tighter, but it's definitely possible, and it's something you can do if you practice at it. And then, yeah, same as this, just jump up and get your 2 hits, and the fight is over. The only other thing that I really could say about this fight is if you're really not comfortable and don't feel that you can get a 5 hit in the first cycle, and you don't want to do the 5 and 2, you can do a safer damageless fight going for 4 hits and then 3 hits in the last cycle. If you're really not comfortable trying to do either of these 5-hit strats. That's something that is actually pretty easy. Again, starting the same way with the first dodges of the bullet. And actually, it looks a lot like this damageless 5-hit fight. But instead of rushing to jump up and get the third hit in, you can just slide across to the other side, jump up, shoot, and then go across to the left again and get your 4th hit in. It's obviously slower, but you will guarantee that you will get 4 hits in the first cycle. You do have to slide to do that, however, so again, you're going to cause lag due to sliding a little bit in the fight, but it is a pretty consistent way of doing a 4 and 3 fight for that particular boss. So yeah, that's sort of it to do with this boss. If you have any questions, just fire me a message either on Twitch. My name on there is Chelney1, if you didn't already know, and or on Twitter, you can tweet at me also at Chelney1. And I'll be glad to try to help you and answer any questions that you might have with regard to this fight.